Here we are, Monday night. Well, I'm in replay mode, doing a recording, broadcast recording of Attrition Sim Race Campus, Season 3, Race 2 at Okayama Full, running the standard, basically mirroring the Global Mazda MX-5 Cup in tonight's race. So we have the fixed baseline setup, and we have the fuel cap set at 45% to offer a little bit of a larger fuel or pit strategy window for us in this race. And we have good old Okayama Full. Everybody knows, all the beginners know it, and all the beginners love it. Nobody dislikes Okayama. What a great course. Lots of nuance out on this track. We are getting ready to end practice here. Checker flag should be coming up. It should go into flip over to our open qualification session. We do have just 10 minutes. They have, I should say they, but I say we because I was in the race. Welcome to my league, Attrition Sim Race Campus. And me scratching the bottom of the barrel, messing around with some freeware to see what I can work on broadcasting chops. It's gonna be bad, but I'm also gonna enjoy it. We've got open qualifying. It has started now. We got 10 minutes, and we've got everybody is popping out. We've got we're looking at good old. Well, it looks like we're looking at Mr. Athon there with the Monster Energy car in front of him is Mr. Kotz. The white racing stripes is Mr. Athon. Taken on board with him here as he follows one of our top runners, Mr. Kotz there. Always putting up a good challenge, making our season 2 champion, Mr. Bristow, work for every corner after he can work his way through the back of the pack with the penalties. You can see we've got some strategic goals to hold on to draft and work for draft to try and maximize that qualifying time here in the reduced open qualifying time of just 10 minutes tonight. Then we have some others trying to spread it out and offer themselves an opportunity to get the best lap they can and not get caught up in behind somebody. So finishing up our outlap. Most of them are everybody should be finishing up their outlap here shortly. Then they'll start jumping into their first flying laps. Our default iRacing search here is holding nicely on to Athon there, as he's the one. He seems to be our one participant who is sticking close to hold on to draft. He wants to hold on to Ronnie for as much as it's worth there. Get that good qualifying. Since he's gonna do that, let's hop on board with Mr. Athon and see how he is pulling it in behind Ronnie there. Give me the button. There we go. I love to hold that one nice and tight right there. Give you that easier, better close range setup to that jank left into the revolver. So much room on the turn in for this corner that most people miss. As we turn into Redman, I believe Redman. Hobbs would be the next one. There's just a ton of different ways to go around this corner. It really depends on traffic positioning, whether you got to be on defense or on attack, or just looking for your favorite line and which one is your favorite line. Because if you're at our level, a little bit away from the the most common pros and aliens out there. We got a few drivers that are creeping up on their times, working on their consistency while they get better, and then a fair mid portion of us who are gleaning everything we can off of those guys to put in all we can. Oh, it is switched. I'm gonna take a look at Ronnie now. Let's see. I don't know how long it'll stay because it's on the auto find feature here. As I don't have a director. I'm director here. Director, solo broadcaster, extraordinaire, and never forget, extremely average iRacer. There we go. Take a look at take a look at Ronnie's tail for just a moment. I like the way he holds that inside. That's the only way I can keep my my deltas green when I'm out trying to run hot laps, is to hold that big carousel turn there on the inside. Give it a tight, hard inside. Kind of treating it like a hairpin, I guess, the way I do it. In order slow in, it's the MX-5. Slow in, fast out is the way I try to maximize that one. Oh, somebody's off ahead. It's gonna make that an invalid lap. They may have to choose to get out of the way. Allow Ronnie to get his flying lap done here. Looks like Kevin up ahead. He's got some space there. He can probably stay on it, and he'll provide Ronnie with a little bit more draft going out to the start-finish line. Looks like he's in range. Oh yeah, that's draft range. It's not the sweet spot. 1.5 seconds, 1.3. Oh, there we go. He's moving over to allow him to just go for it. Doesn't want to get stuck in front of him in the turn 1 there. Oh, somebody's coming out of the pits. So somebody's on an out lap. Excellent work. Well done. Thank you, sir. I really like the way he did that. It was evident that he was on an out lap. They were on the flying lap. He got well off the racing line and he broke hard so that he didn't get stuck into the corner and impede them. It was beautifully done, sir. I believe that was Manraba. We have 2 Rawls in the league, and both of them are here with us tonight, Mr. Raul Manraba and Mr. Raul Miranda. I have a little we call that little nickname, code name. Miranda, he's Mr. Defense. Man can hold it. He can teach us all a little bit about how to drive a good defensive line. Just that ability to make your car a little wider than it actually is without doing anything wrong or nefarious. He's just really good at doing that. Mr. Defense. Now, man, I'm just gonna make sure it's just the iRacing feature just loves Mr. Athlon. It's done a few twists, but he's doing everything. He's holding on to COTS for everything it's worth. So it has really chosen to focus on him for the excitement value, which I'm cool with that. Excitement is good. It's a good staple for a default running camera change feature. Now that Ronnie's ducked off there with he got in less than 2 minutes. He might have enough time to throw on a fresh set of tires and zip out, because if he can get that first out lap back in, or I said it'd be a second out lap at this point since he has done 1 plus a couple of laps, he'd be able to get to the start finish line before the checkers come, and that'll allow him to get in 1 more flying lap. It won't end it automatically at the checkers. It will give everybody on a lap the chance to finish. And we do block. We do penalize taking a tow. We treat that in the league as if you've had mechanical failure or something that has caused you to move to a backup car, or have broken some violation where you get that basic end of line. You got a backup car for, threw out a clutch line, needed to change out the transmission, swap the engine, and many leagues, just changing the tires is enough. I mean, just the littlest thing, and they'll force you to end the line. So here, if you take a tow, you're going to get an end-of-line penalty while we grid. And this is new for Season 3, one of the things we've talked about, and we've implemented it, and we're trying to work that in, get everybody on page with it. So we do have one end-of-line penalty for some issues with that last week to our Season 2 champion, Mr. Bristow. So he's well aware. We have good confirmation at this point, and he is going to be taking that one, serving that one today. Oh, Harris, too much wheel in the dirt. That would do it. As I mentioned that, you can limp your car back safely. It's a good opportunity to practice more experience in traffic, learning what to do in a situation. It's more opportunity to force people or drivers to recognize and start to grasp that situational and spatial awareness as it is in sim racing. So if you can limp it back safely, then you won't get any additional penalties for impeding or anything else because you've done it safely. And if you can limp it back, then you can then take the free repair. And so our only stipulation is if you actually got to take the tow, which means that's going to get you the end of line penalty right away because you're going to let me know here as we grid. And then or me or the admin will drop that EOL. Got a handful out. Qualification checkers are out. But we do have a number of cars finishing up. Let's see if we have any who do complete. Get any extra pops here. I don't have access on this. I think if I pop up the results to see the qualifying stuff, it's just going to show everybody who's not aware, which is probably nobody, because I know it's only a few of our league members watching me do this. I'm having fun though. That will, if I pull that up, it'll show. If I pull that up, it'll show the results. I can't go through the qualifying on what I've got working here for software. I love it. Pulling the car in. He wasn't able to. He was aware by the splits and the deltas that he wasn't going to improve on his qualifying time. So he's bringing that car in and parking it in the pits, taking it to his box, taking it to the box. Come on, Miranda, Mr. Defense, on board with Mr. Miranda. Grab that flying lap. Ah, Mr. Maraba, hot on his tail. Roll and roll. Now, a tow here. My initial reaction was, well, no, that's not going to be an end of line penalty because you're not actually taking a tow. But in a moment's thought after that, it come to me that it would be easier just to keep it with the simple thing of just because it's gonna change over, because some people could finish right before the checkered flag could come out. They're only 10 feet past the checkered flag and make their first mistake into turn 1, say. No, they're not gonna make it. Then under the checkered flag is out, you could take the tow now. Then we'll have everybody pulling over or not pulling over and taking a tow, and we don't want to see that. You want to at that point just finish your cooldown lap as it should be at that point, since you know you're not going to make it, and bring it all the way back into the pits. And in that situation there, we have iRacing has gone. Time's up. You've said it. You've worked your way around, and we are now done and moving on. So now let me get out of cockpit here. And let's see. Let me go to, what can I go to? Go to one of these things that makes sense. Well, I can kind of see it where it's at here. We've got the pace car. Oh, and of course it does that. Let me do this. There we go. So we have Mr. Lovell is taking the pole, and Mr. Season 2 champion Bristow there in the darker car on the front row is in P2, and he will be getting the end of line penalty right now, or flag right now, so he'll be moving over and getting people to scoot by, and I'm actually trying to convey that message now, so there's going to be a little chaos here as we go. Let me move this so I can see him again. Looks like Mr. Athon there is in 4th. 5th place on the inside here. We have, we got Cots just popped into view. So we have Cots there. Oh, there we go. I could do this here from the far chase. Let's do it this way. Here we have Mr. Chase. Mr. Level, where's the... There we go. Mr. Level here with the Mazda car. Mr. Bristow here in P2 on the qualifying. Cots with the Monster Energy. Thomas Athon, Mr. Stripes. Joe Marlin. I have always been a fan of the of that livery right there. Good old Malkin or Mason. I fuck your name up all the time. Chapo. Sorry about screwing up your name. We're missing. There we go. There's me. Is that me? Yes, that one there is me with the white rims on the ASRC car. Mr. Digby on my side. Mr. Defense right here. Raw Miranda. One more back, too. A good buddy of mine from across the pond, Mr. Bolden, working the Midnight Oil, staying with us. Up. And we got Tyler Burns, and then the next position. Then there is Kevin, Mr. Volmar, Digby's right and left hand, right and left foot. Can I do that? Can I do that? Yeah, I don't think Legless will mind. I may have screwed up what's happening there. He's getting by. There are our other Raw, Mr. Monraba. We got our other more across the pond, Mr. Kellyman, Charles Kellyman, Johnny Bell. Johnny Bell, heads up. This guy, he is working the real system of the points here by really putting a strong effort on clean racing. He is maximizing the points gain on that second clean ladder. Really appreciate the way that he is recognizing and strategizing and working the system. Mr. Justin Walters, always good to see the scratches. Good old Mr. Harris from across the pond, and Mr. Bunting, also from across the pond, our newest member here, showing a lot of respect as he wakes up to softens up to us, gets to know us all. Looking forward to him starting to stick his elbows out a little bit as he gets a little cleaner, starts getting those laps in well. Do a quick rolling button. Wow, I need to take a breath after that. Alright, first trip down the backstretch. Lap 1 of a ton, because it's a 90-minute endurance league. We will have one pit stop today. One mandatory pit stop with 45% fuel. Just realized I left it on that. I need to switch it to the search option for the most exciting / crashes and leaders. Gonna go on board with Bristow here as he starts to work his way up from the back of the pack after the start. He's coming through Hobbs. Got a lot of nice looking single file here as we finish up lap 1. Everybody falling in. As much as I say everybody's falling in, boy, I remember feeling like there was a lot of good fighting. There was some respectful, some mistakes were made, some moves were made to take advantage of those and trying to get by. There's Bristow making a good move there. It looked like Harris was out in the dirt. Kitty litter. You know, for as many cameras as I have in this group selection, it is really going to the roll bar quite a lot. Here we are on board with Bolden for a moment. Give me a blimp. Get out of the way, trees. Who put trees in the way of the breakstone? All side by side at the beginning of the back stretch. Chapo's got a nice, strong defensive move on Marlin all the way down. Marlin moves to the outside. Long line down that backstretch was up on the inside there, holding it behind Bolden's move down the inside of Digby. I threw it in the hairpin there, taking advantage of that line, that the open hole that Bolden had holding out on Digby, and there's me trying to hold it on the outside, leaving room. trying to get this pass done so I can hold on to Bolden's draft. There we have it. Now it's time to get back on the throttle and hold on. And Bolden is wide. Scared me off, and now Digby's gonna go around the outside challenge. Miranda was looking up the inside of Kevin there. In through Hobbs. He's got it done. Because we're on board with Kevin now. And that looks like now Tyler, Mr. Burns is on the inside of Kevin, and Kellyman is looking to make it 3 wide. Going 3 wide down the front stretch. 3 wide down the front stretch. Ah, scary, 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 scary. Oh, optical illusion. That white line pit exit there. I think Kellyman got the optical illusion there as he drifted, just drifted left in the 3 wide situation. There was nowhere for anybody to go while they were holding their lines. Tough to get visibility there on who's next to you and where, and that line just coming off of pit road as it pumps out into the trine there. It's easy to start to follow that, and that is not the straight line anymore. Looked like he took most of the severity of the damage was from that, as he basically got to cut the nose on Tyler there as he crimped to the left and put him into the wall, put himself into the wall. Come through the revolver. I don't know why. Apologies to everybody that I called that turn trigger on this week. I just had trigger stuck in my head. I'm not going to speculate as to why. I just can't do it. But boy, I called it trigger way too many times. Then I was pulling up my picture for the race announcement. I was like, hello, it's revolver. I knew that. Why the hell have I been calling it trigger? Oh, triggered. Athon is still he does a lot of practice with Mr. Ronnie Kotz there, one of our fastest pace setters. And he is showing the ability there and practicing with him to really be able to hold on to that and hang with him. Marlin is starting to put some distance on Ronnie though. That is looking like a hefty little break there. Can't quite see what that is. Is that 2 seconds? No, I'm sorry, I'm screwing it up. That's Love, Mr. Lovell. Lovell had the pole on today. Let me do a quick refresh on this, because those colors look all wrong. It looks better. Legible. Alright. I can see that now. Yeah, Lovell, I don't know what the asterisk is about. That's a JRT code I am unaware of. But he is starting to he's got a 2-second lead now on Mr. Kotz. Athon, Mason, and then Marlin holding on toe. Draft on draft. Oh! Oh, drop the wheel. Athon is out. That is a blown engine to boot right into the corner of the tire wall. Oh, yeah, that's a smoker. Oh, that'd be a perfect opportunity to pull out the full race caution a little bit early. Don't want to see him this early, but that's racing. That would be a great opportunity to cinch this pack back together while everybody's starting to work up a nice sweat. Starting to get their heart rate going. Oh, that would have been nice. But we're working on that. We got to get everybody on the same page. There's too many things to test out and really get. We need the core group at least has to be well aware of the responsibilities of those who take a tow, to call out and announce it so that admin can throw the yellow full lap caution. And then in that is going to have to be it's going to have to be known that taking a tow is going to be, you're going to be putting your car in the garage for the rest of the race when we move to this point, because there's got to be an encouragement for people to not take a tow. We want people. That's me cutting up the inside as Bolden gets a little washout there through what I call the carousel, even though I know that is not what that turn is. We're able to get that one done. We'll single file it, I do believe, into the hairpin. Oh, it looked like he was going to give me a push there for a moment. He chose safety over push. I kind of appreciate that. Someday, Bolden, someday. We've been practicing it, but yeah, in practice, we're well aware that we just don't have the chops for it yet. It's still kind of a risky move, but yeah, we'll keep that going in practice. We're gonna get there. So we'll get that. Oh, Bristow he's just so hard charging it. He's on Digby's tail right there. Digby in the blue, Bristow with the white, black, and butterscotch. Yeah, I go with butterscotch. It's way better. I was gonna go with the diarrhea, but no. Don't be. That's gotta be a better word than that. So yes, butterscotch. We'll go with butterscotch. Not quite chocolate. It's not quite a white chocolate. Caramel. That's what that color is. That's caramel. Caramel color. Making the move. He's got the inside. Kind of looked like he got a little bit of help there from Digby. I think Digby recognizes that he's got Season 2 champ there, and he's going to let him buy at an opportunistic moment where it can get done easy and he can slide right in, and it's not going to hurt him. If anything, he's probably going to get a little help from that in the long run. This is Bristow coming up on me now. Me with the white rims. Oh, before right back to the toe, because it's gonna be, you're gonna be putting it in the garage. Taking a tow during our races. It's not yet, but when we get it all worked out, we're looking at testing it this season and working out and getting it measured and set for Season 4. But it'll be more than likely taking the tow is going to be putting your car in the garage, because if you can limp it back to the pits, then you can get your repair and you're good. And there would be no reason for anybody to they would just call the tow, cinch everybody back together, then they can get their car repaired. It would be beneficial for people to take a tow rather than detrimental for people to take a tow. So we don't want a lot of flags, a lot of cautions, but they happen in real racing. And so we don't want them for the classic, idiocy, first turn stupid shit that happens in sim racing, even with the best of intentions. So we want to avoid that, or limit it as much as possible without over-regulating and making it a handbook nightmare. So a simple thing, I believe, of taking a tow is retiring your car to the garage for the duration of the race. That way you can still get it back to the pits, you can still get out there, get your car repaired, do some more work. There may have to be some points adjustments to versus starting, finishing, and starting and heading to the garage. Maybe like half the points for the race. That way there's an encouragement to get your car fixed and then get out there and finish the laps with your repaired vehicle, which is better experience for everybody. Oh, side by side into the hairpin. Who was that? Was that Oh, I don't know. I missed it. Oh, we missed the back at the previous carousel, I believe, was the turn where Bristow made a really late move on the inside when I was geared up to take it at optimal line, and then facilitate him on the backstretch. So I have been playing hard defense now into the hairpin and through here. I was hell bent to not let him have it easy after that late move poke where he was unable to get the pass done on the inside after basically forcing me off the apex. So this is all me now. Not being a dick, but kind of being a dick, because I was just within my rights to make him work hard for a good pass. And once he makes I don't know what's gonna happen. I kind of forget. But I know once he gets a nose, once he makes a good authoritative move at an opportune moment, then it's done. I try to hold on to him. Doesn't take long for him to get away. He's a hard man to hold on to. Bristow is fast. Yeah, that's me holding the inside up there, going, yeah, I'm not letting you dive late on me again. And just like me when him on the inside with me on the outside. I wasn't able to hold it in much the same fashion as he wasn't able to hold it from the inside through there. So I tucked in, and it's not going to take me long to lose him. We got a nice little 5-car train going here. What looks like P5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. With Mr. Defense at the tail end of that pack. Coming up on our first 15 minutes completion. 1 hour and 15 plus minutes to go. I'm going to take this moment to do a little bio break. So what I'm going to do is put this on Mr. Defense himself at the back of this pack. And then we're going to go to his cockpit. See what he does here. If I can find him. Come on, Miranda. There we go, Miranda. Pop into the cockpit. Let's take a look at how Miranda holds on to the back of this pack. Works his way in here while I take a quick stretch. I'll be right back. Oh, it looks like Miranda's starting to lose him a little bit. He's on the tail end of that draft area. What kind of times he got there? 1.2, 1.3? That's still good, ample draft zone for the MX-5, but when you've got in front of you, you've got draft on draft on draft cars, makes it a little bit easier for them to overcome or overtake the speed that you're able to catch them at, because they're getting more draft than you are. Just because they're all in the sweet spot on each other. Let me this back to that, and this back to that. So iRacing has decided the action is here in this second little pack, little group here with Digby and myself and Mr. Bolden. Mr. Bolden with the black wheels, Me with the white wheels in our beautiful Nutrition Sim Race Campus liveries. Thank you, Mr. Kevin, Mr. Volmer, our statistics analysis master. Oh, I left my beer. Be right back. Sweet suds, we're getting lonely on the toilet tank. Ah, cool. Not cool, Mark. Not cool. Party foul. Oh, Bolden is wide again. Late breaks into the carousel. He's close enough, though. He can still grab that draft and hold on. He'll still be able to hold on real nice. I don't believe Miranda's fallen off anymore. He's struggling to maintain there. A little bit of a defensive line. Digby's looking on the inside there, holding it down a little bit to prevent me making a late move. Good, good, good. It's a battle. Yeah, that's me doing. I'm working so hard to hold on to the tail of Digby. It doesn't look like it, but man, I am working so hard to maintain. I think that's the point right there where I'm going to lose it. It's that turn going in through Hobbs. Yep, that's the one. Oh, he gets such sharp, sudden movements with this car, and I try to imitate or emulate him every time I'm behind him. It always fails me. I need to. I'm a much smoother input guy, and I see him jerking it hard, and I try to do it, and I fail miserably. So he's gonna get away from me quick now. Well, not quick. They're actually. Just like Miranda, now he's far away, but he's in that. There's still a number of laps here for me to try to hang. And fortunately, I don't believe Michael's not gonna. He's gonna help. Not gonna get a push, but he's not gonna get real. He's not gonna get aggressive and turn it into a fight. So it allows me to make some. This allows me to really put down the strongest line I can to try to stay with Digby. We do a really good job for a while now. Number of laps coming up. We're on board with Chapo. Looks like he's on the tail of Marlin. Jojo Marlin. Heading down into Redman. Oh, and we switch. Wish I could tell iRacing to not switch over a certain, just at least hold on to one of them for more than 1/10 of a second. Holds on to one car for what was that, like 12 minutes, and, and then jump. Will make me go crazy. Oh, Digby's just so not in range for me. It's still ample draft range. A lot of forum talk about how it's like, oh, if you got 2 seconds, you can get in there, then you can close up on them. Like, yeah, for you pros, but here in extremely average and slightly better than extremely average land, if you're a teeny bit better than the guy behind you, that extra second, that's a big hurdle. When you're in a group of 10 cars and you're all within 1/10 of a second from the fastest possible time physically possible, then yeah, all right, you get 2 seconds, you run that shit down, no problem. But here in the realm of the tiniest little mistake, and we make lots of them, is enough to hurt you take that full second away from you. So it makes it very, very difficult. Quite the challenge, quite the enjoyable challenge. Yay! I got the mirrors put up in my replay! And it's working! Heading down into the Redmond Hobbs. Marlin in front of Chapeau. Bristow is closing the distance. He's still working his way through. Steady and fast. Fast and steady. Picking them off one by one from the tail end of the grid today. Back on me, looking at still trying to keep up and close in. Maybe try and get back to Digby. Who's that in front of him? Ah, Mr. Bunting's in front of Digby. Newest member from across the pond. Here's a good learning opportunity. We have a full-on gift to the head car in the pack by moving off the line and not making him work at all in order to get it. He could have had staying on the line is the best. And if it's the white flag of the race and you got a pack of cars coming through, okay, move over and brake and don't get in the way at all. But other than that, if we really want everybody to start practicing that racecraft of holding your race line, staying on your line, because it's easy for the faster cars. It's natural. I won't say easy. It's natural for the faster cars to pass a car that is in the expected line, because that's how they're generally going to be making their moves on people that they're comparatively on speed and on par with. And by moving over for the first car in the train and then notching back into the line right behind the next guy, that actually, all those laps of me trying to hold on to Digby, that broke it. That broke the train. That ended that race entirely right there. Had you stayed on the line on that front stretch, he'd have to cut to your inside, and then you just lift off, and that gets done. It's more normal. It's not like it would have prevented what happened there from happening, but it would not give me anything to look at and go, well, you could have not done that. But as I've said before, I appreciate where you're coming from on there. I appreciate the respect and the courteousness, but it's a racetrack. Courtesy doesn't really belong on a racetrack. That's not in the what's expected of a race car driver. What's expected of a race car driver is to do your best and to hold your line and put down the best thing that you can, while respecting those around you. And respecting somebody doesn't mean giving them a corner. Early in the race like this, again, it's a decision-based factor, which is why it's kind of okay, because you're new and you're really getting the feet wet here with us. So this is an opportunity. But yeah, white flag, lead pack coming through. Yeah, then it's still in your right, because you still may be involved in a race with a guy behind them. You still may. It's always good to hold your line and make the faster cars do a move to and then facilitate them once they make a move. We got Marlin, Chapeau, and Bristow's eking in. He's inching that in. He's still closing the gap little by little. I think the last time we had the camera on that same section there at Hobbs, he was about twice that distance behind Chapeau, which is it's about a half a second, I guess. 7/10 of a second. So he was back about a second and a half last time, probably. So now he's starting to get really close to that draft sweet spot. I'm gonna put it up here on Bristow, and then let's take a look at our cockpit camera. So we have a nice battle for position here on lap 16. With two of our league's strongest runners. They're holding third and fourth positions right now. It looks like second and first are just barely up ahead of them. Oh, Chapeau's he's got that little bit of a washout. Nice opportune moment there to hold into the inside of him and keep at it. I do believe we have side by side. I can hear him. I can hear him. That's what it's like, guys. One screen. That's what it's like. Hearing him on the outside there. Sounds like he's taken off and moved in behind now. Bristow has moved himself into the meat of the Marlin and Chapeau sandwich. Oh, look at that car control. It's such good throttle control and grip on exit. Excellent. Nice defensive move there by Marlin. Might have been a little bit reactive, but he had made no prior defensive move, so that does fit well. He made one quick jerk as a defensive, like, don't do that late on me. That was nice. I like that. Good spatial awareness. We do allow. We have a 2-move allowed. Third move defense is where we go to blocking. So you can move away from the racing line, as Marlin has done there, and then move back to it in order to defend. But then to move away from it again, that's where you're now reacting and being a total tool douche, and you're blocking and you're in trouble. Interesting to see that from that perspective there, where he did the nice little jerk defense of don't make that late move. I like that, because that was enough to make Bristow just get on the brakes and back out of that late dive. Because that would have been a zero presentation dive, which people with lesser spatial awareness would have turned and cut the nose, and we'd have an accident. And it did end up being Bristow's fault, because that's a late move is bad. Dangerous. It's okay if you don't hit anybody, but it's not okay if you do. Yay, racing. Alright, let's get out of the cockpit here and go back to my little tele camera. Just gonna give us a nice little earbud breather there with the blimp camera to start. Way to go, Marlin! Duking it out with the season 2 champ. Like I said, Marlin he's one of our fastest runners. We've got he's up there good strong potential for a win or or a good clean race. Maximizing points, always pretty relatively consistent. I think his biggest downfall is he hasn't been able to make as many of the races as many of us, and with our low requirement on races where you can partake in more and have more drop races in order to accommodate life for the average iRacer. He's been able to take advantage of that because he hasn't been able to be around for as many races. So he hasn't been able to take advantage of maximizing the drop race opportunities. But definitely one of our strongest runners. With a lot of good improvement too, since oh, no, just nice peek. Chapeau is making his presence known there. It looked like he might have been a little bit of punt avoidance. Might have got a little off guard and moved out to avoid hitting somebody, because that was not a move to not a late move to steal a position. That looked a lot more like a late move to avoid punting somebody. Not somebody, punting Marlin. Sorry, I'm in review. I cycle back to review mode where I'm always trying to keep the names out of it. Which is probably going to end. We don't have that 200 stranger involvement where there was just tons and tons of classic official series kind of stupidity taking place. Now that the our core group and newcomers that we're acquiring at a metered development or metered growth are aware of and recognize and appreciate the standards and the goals of attrition. Just gotta make sure I did. Want to make sure I put this on the. Didn't leave it locked onto a driver. This here just is what's most exciting right now, and I'm actually doing this on focusing on crashes, because what I've learned recently is that it will go. It's like a tier setup where it's like it's gonna go through. It's gonna focus on those three choices: the focus on the leaders, focus on the most exciting, or focus on crashes. Well, it's gonna do all three of those, but it's just going to do the one that you select the most. So it's always focusing on leaders and focusing on most exciting and focusing on crashes. But if you select focusing on crashes, and when the crash comes, it'll try to make it to the crash. Whereas if you got it on most exciting, then it might stay on the most exciting / leader and miss the crashes. So other than our few little skips here where I've gone to some cockpit view, it's been on focusing on crashes, and there hasn't been. Oh, well, there's been one. A 2-2, I almost forgot. Tom nosed it in the wall after a dropped tire, and Kellyman got snookered by the optical illusion of that pit exit line encroaching on the race line, and he pinched left. Well, it's not really pinch. Pinching would be if he pinched to the inside, pinching somebody on the inside, but instead he wafted out. He listed lazily to the left, and which ended up cutting. Little front quarter to rear corner, got himself turned around. Looked like Kotz was getting scary edgy there. We got P1 and P2 right here. Lovell, our qualifying pole position sitter, holding now onto the tail draft of our qualifying 3 position sitter. Now moved up into P1, and Kotz has done it. Kotz has had the wins. Lovell's had the wins. Now, I believe Lovell had the win. Was it Lovell? Oh, brain fart. I should know these statistics. I think it's Lovell and Marlin. I think both of them and Chapeau have got the 101, the gold prize of winning on both ladders, the clean ladder and the rank ladder. So finishing first and doing it cleaner than everybody else in the race with the lowest amount of X's or incident points. And 101 is the goal because you got 65 points there at the highest for P1 for finishing first, for finishing first, and then you got 36 points for being the cleanest driver, which we got a little algorithm worked out for that, so it factors in how many laps you got and versus how many laps were completed by the lead lap cars and your incident and the incident points. A little bit of an algorithm there to not make that so straightforward, but it boils down to percentage-wise. And we actually, and at the end of this one, we had 3 cars tied on that one, which of course goes to the finishing rank. So we had 3 ties on the clean rank ladder this week, and all of those are broken by the higher finishing rank points. Is that me looking? Oh, never mind. Scratch up. Damn you, iRacing! I'm skitsed out enough. What were you doing there? That's me. I got Mr. Bolton is right behind me. Back to our leaders, P1 and P2. Kotz is really maximizing the track there. I love the way the leaders really work that exit. They're always got the tires in the grass there, which, were there an accident at that point, or an incident, not an incident because off track is one, but that's probably not getting an incident. The iRacing virtual stewards a lot of room out there. Oh, Bolden is loose behind me, but he has saved it. That was Bolden, a little drop tire. Nice save, buddy. Nice save. He must have been thinking about trying to maximize that corner exit I was just talking about. Look at Bristow, man, like dun 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 dun. He's just tracking down P1 and P2. He can smell level and cut. Don't fight, guys. Do not fight. Line that shit up nose to tail and give it all it's worth, man. Start pushing him down the front straight. It's go time. Oh, Chapo taking taking a little off-track leverage there to get keep a run going here. Looking at Marlin's tail. Marlon, that's a line I'm bad at. I gotta hold it inside there like Chapo. That's where I can keep my delta in the red, but I need to actually run it out after keeping it tight in order to maximize. There you go. Level's looking oh. Now that was a nice peek there. Didn't make the move. Chapo's really letting himself be known. And for anybody who doesn't know, Chapo has really strong aggressive tendencies. So when he's out there looking, I know he is just frothing at the mouth and he is biting that bit, man. He's got the bit in his mouth and he's like, nope, don't do it yet, don't do it. He's doing everything. He's working really hard to make a good decision there, because I've seen him be not too aggressive, because it's racing. Aggressive is a required. It's a required. Oh, we're in the pit zone. Our pit window is open. Lap 22. Marlin is going in at the earliest of the pit window here at lap 22. You got the proper blend of aggression and confidence. Being too aggressive at points where you shouldn't, where you're overconfident, that's where your calculations get bad. And Chapo has had a tendency early on, way early with the league, to be aggressive with strangers. I'm gonna go with the justifiable risk analysis. He would take some unjustifiable risks, and he's really shown an effort, and God, I commend him for it, because I know he's got the aggressive, the genetic chain. He's got the protein sequence to be aggressive. He's gonna take advantage of an opportunity if it's there, and he's been improving by measuring that, by quartering it, by keeping it in check and going, nope, don't do it, don't, not yet, and then jumping on it at a more opportune time. He's become much better at making that distinction. So it's really good to see from this perspective, because they don't show up on my incident review searches because nothing happened there. But it's really good to see that point of, oh, I really want to go in there, but nope, I'm gonna wait, because I'm gonna slow us both down if I make this dive here. Even if it goes well and I don't hit you, it's still gonna slow us both down. So I'm gonna wait for a better moment, a better run, a better turn, wait for a mistake from the guy in front, wait for the opportunity to be more to justify the risk at making the move. Bristow, dun 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 dun, just creeping on him, ever so creepy. Well, that sounds wrong. Oh man, I'm saying his car's colored like Dookie before I correct that to caramel. I'm gonna stick with caramel. Butterscotch is not quite right. Definitely caramel color. And then calling him creepy. Oh, turn of a phrase. Got it all wrong. Dun 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 dun. He's going great white on him. Just tracking him down. I'm going to go on to the car with Bristow as he... Well, we're on lap 24. We are really close to pit zones. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like we've got 4 or 5 cars have already taken their pit. We've got 2 in the pits right now. I should do this. Let me do this. Let me go to the pit. Do I have a pit camera? Pit camera? Pit camera? Where the hell are you, pit camera? Alright, who am I looking at there? That's Kevin. Kevin is coming out of the pits. Kevin, 30.9 seconds in his box with a total time in the lane of 51.2. Jump this back to here. Looks like he is 0.1 second off of his partner in crime Digby with 30.8 seconds in the box and 50.2 seconds in the lane. So a total of 1 second total difference. Kevin, slow. That's 0.9 seconds in the pit lane. And only 0.1 extra over your partner in crime, but only 0.1 second more in the box. We have, oh, yeah, I was going to say what Marlon just had, but he disappeared off my screen here. He's just out of reach of, there he is. He's back up top. 29.0 in the box. 29.0 with a 49.2 lane. That is not our fastest. Not our. Oh, I'm going to call that our fastest. Bunting is in with our fastest stop, but he is lapped down at this point. I believe he may have had. Well, we didn't pick up a spin. I'm not sure. Bunting is in with 25.2 seconds and 46.9. I can't say, oh, he's corrected from something because it didn't pick up anything. But I do know that he's our back marker, very courteous back marker. So expect maybe he just spent. It's a full pit, 46.9 in the lane and 25.2 in the box. That seems dramatically shorter. Well, the time is shorter in the box. And I guess that could make sense if he's being in the back marker. He may not be burning as much fuel, so he may not need as much fuel. So he's got less time in the lane, which is equivalent to the less time in the actual box. So he may have recognized that he could make it to the end on fuel and just didn't need to actually take as much fuel. That's making a lot of sense right there. Let me go back here to our pit camera because we've got Bristow is in. Bristow is driving through cars. Oh, I do not want to see that. I want to see everyone start to show the proper recognition of the three orientations or zones of the. Oh, Athens drive. Was that a drive-through? I think that was a drive-through. I'll have to check that. He might have been doing a voluntary drive-through penalty if he was trying to avoid a steward decision for an incident that will come in the review. You got your three sessions. You got your sections. You got your boxes. You got your transition line. Oh, you can't see the mouse. And then you've got your high-speed section there. So we want to see everybody respecting that. I don't want to see everybody taking advantage of this pit lane cheat and just driving down through all the cars in order to avoid something happening, or just because it feels okay or whatever. It breaks immersion. It goes against general simulation standards, albeit it's acceptable in iRacing, and for good reason, because you move to the official series and there's stupid shit happening everywhere. And we're gonna set a higher standard here, so we're gonna start making more announcements towards that, and getting everybody to recognize that. I will do what I can to start reaching out individually as announcements. Broad announcements aren't getting that done here. Take another quick look at the pit lanes. No. We have broke the halfway point with 42 plus a lap, so maybe 45 minutes left in the race at this point. Oh man, that is a car with no hood following a car whose bonnet just is at risk of getting torn off by by the air. That thing would be flapping and bouncing all over the place. The way I'm seeing that right now, there would be all kinds of vibrations on that thing. It should be grabbing all kinds of air. Gonna change this back to the leaders. Let's see what's going on up here. Lovell, well out ahead on lap 27. I do believe this would be him coming into the pits then. Is that correct? Oh, it is. Lovell is into the pits now. Our final, I think this is our, maybe not our final at this point. But he is in P1 and he is into the pits. Let's keep this on him and see how we go here. Creeping into the transition lane, perhaps a little too early for my taste, as there's a car in there, but they're just now getting up on their jacks. Nice, nice. Bumping this over to here. Oh, that's Chapeau coming in. Get back on that. Chapeau's coming in right behind him. Bolden is now coming in. Working into the transition lane. He's trying to respect it, but he's getting awfully close to that safe zone. He's edging that safe zone where you can't get hit by anybody. Want to stay in the speed zone and then move through the transition when you're you should be able to cross two boxes, which they're not really well identified. So it's going to end up being in the principle of which we see often of do everything reasonable to make it to simulate it appropriately. And I know that's a big stretch. I know that's asking a lot because we are online, we are in iRacing, and that is asking a lot. The few that I have spoke with directly on it are in fond agreement. That is a good it's a good foundation. It represents what we're doing, and I'm just gonna do a little work to spread the word. Spread the word about pit love. Pit lane love. Ronnie is out there alone at this point. Where did looks like Lovell is not in the pits anymore. I'm gonna this is still on. Let me take this to most exciting, because that is. Yep, Thomas left down. Bristow is he's still on the hunt now. Bristow is into P2 on the hunt. Now looks like he did lose some time there with the pit or making some passes through traffic after the pit. But he is on the hunt, and is he in? He's not in draft range. We're looking at 4+ seconds now. Got to close 4+ seconds to get up to Mr. Ronnie up top. And Marlin is in draft range. Marlin is holding on to Bristow for all it's worth. You know he's giving it all he's got. Let's. I'm gonna stay on board with Ronnie here. If I can do this right, if I can hit the buttons all in the right place. Give me driver number Ronnie. And let's give me the, let's go with the, where are you? Shit. Roll bar. Oh, Athon is far away. I thought he was right in there. Let's pop back a little bit. Bristow, still looking pretty far away there. That's at 4 seconds. I thought he was in closing range for Athon here. What were we looking at? 2 seconds. Oh, it's not Athon. While I was trying to find the camera, he passed Athon. Okay, he's coming up on. He's gonna get a pass here on our lap down, Mr. Harris. Yellow wheels. Bristow is closing here with 3 seconds now. Should have said, looked like 3.12 actually. We should probably, as Kotz gets to take a look here on James, that we're gonna see. There's a good should be an opportunity for Bristow to close in a little bit. He is catching him here on the front straight though. Can't get more optimal than this. Could have been a little bit closer for the run, because we are in the underpowered MX-5. Gonna need some help if he he dove out the last moment. Okay, good. He held it. It looked like he was gonna just throw that off into the dirt, into the kitty litter there. Oh, speaking of kitty litter, Ronnie is taking full advantage of the exit. Bristow's still a little bit of ways behind. I want to catch this and see if he can creep in on that, because now he's looking at. Oh, now it's. I guess it's. I have to do a bunch of math there. Looks like he's still in that same 4-second range. 2.5, 1.5. That would be about 4. So he's still right into that 4-second range. Who's behind Bristow here? Marlin is bad. Marlin is losing the He's losing the draft. Losing it there. 2.5, 2.6 away. Bristow's going to close fast here, I think, through the revolver, not the trigger, the revolver. Both of them are using a good wide turn in there. Man, Bristow just gets such a keen exit. Just no loss of power on exit. Just so awesome. God, he masters this. Tires don't even scream. They don't just. He just hugs it. Ah, it's a beautiful thing of beauty. Thing of beauty. Oh. Do you see what I see? Somebody likes the herb. I see it there on his helmet. It's now just drifted away into the shadow there. I'm going to stay here just for a moment so everybody can get a gander at this. I believe. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Somebody likes the herb. All right. Preach it, buddy. Going back to focus on crashes. Sticking to telly. Oh, I'm gonna need some help remembering it. We had a back last summer when Attrition Sim Race Campus was just the speck of a dream, its very beginnings, where we had over 230 some odd members join in 36 hours. And one of which who hung with us there into the beginning of season 1 after we weeded out a large number of the initial look, click the shiny button joiners. His whole car was his whole car was the Leaf, and I can't remember if he's still with us or not. I do remember him saying some really stupid shit, just completely against like the code. That I had a really kind of specific respect code at that point. We have such a lot. Some of that has been de-worded due to the nature of the strong, good strength of core we have right now, and a general understanding, and it's all, and my ability to rewrite stuff and just take out a bunch of garbage as well. But I remember a pot leaf car, and I can't even remember what it was, but there was some kind of stupid shit prevailed. Bristow still holding P2, creeping at 1.6 seconds now. That is full-on draft range. I believe that is Munraba. One of our rolls, Munraba is looking. He's making extra precautions to not interfere there going into the hairpin. Let me take a look here. We've got That might be a battle. That's a battle, I believe, right there. Monraba and Bell now in a battle for P13. Going in through the revolver. Let me see if I can, in ode to my broadcasting, I can't call them mentors, but boy, when I was trapped in the bed, you guys, the GSRC kept me alive, gave me hope to live through much of my time when I could look forward to their broadcasts. So let me try to. We've had the pits. Everybody has pit. Let me try to go through everybody by position. It's if I do the search, it's gonna go. If I do the car flip, it's gonna go through everybody by where they're at, not by position number. Is that Lovell? Lovell's making a pass on our lap down, Johnny Bell. How can I do this? I don't want to open the results page to get to them to identify where I'd have to go through here. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to work on that in the background while I take a look at. Go to the leaders. Okay, Ronnie Kotz in P1 with Bristow right behind. Let's focus on these two. Do I want to change the camera perhaps while I do this? Kind of want to. Go ahead and take it to the cockpit and put it on focus on leader. No, because then it's gonna be right. Well, this is all good too. I'll leave it on focus on leader, so it'll stay on the cockpit, but it'll focus between these two, Bristow and Kotz, while they work this out. Justin Walters, our lap down. Oh, he's a little wide through there. Held nicely. Pop back. Take a look on board with Bristow. Oof. Would have been in your best interest, Justin, to, well, no, okay, you held that. I don't know how you held that way out there. Wow. I was thinking, well, it would have been your best interest to maybe lift a little bit and let those two go through while you were on the racing line before having to throw yourself off the racing line into the outside corner. Nice attack on the revolver. Surprisingly large amount of brakes there through, oh, I can't remember the name of that one. Spitzer? Spicer? Monster. I often take too much of that curbing too. Just the right amount of kitty litter. Not too much, not too little. Oh! Wiggle wiggle. Let him know you're there. Feeling it out? You know, probably a little bit of extra wiggle just to try to help get the kitty litter off the tires, maybe. Not to mention, just kind of maybe try to start getting into Ronnie's head there for P1. A little wiggle wiggle. Precautious brakes. Damn, Bristow got on it a little early there. See, the pros take that wide line, and every time I take that wide line, I am in the red. My lap sucks, and my delta is horrible down this section. I cannot carry any speed when I do that. And I've watched them do it, and I just don't know. I failed miserably when I try to do that. And it's not like I haven't tried. I've tried it a lot, and I can't find any good way to do it. So tight. I do that a lot too. I hate going into fifth gear before this turn. You can get to a higher top speed, but it totally screws my braking through there, which kills my exit velocity or exit speed out of turn one, which just starts the whole lap off wrong when I make it to fifth gear. I try to do a little bit of a lift throttle and hold it at 107 because it'll rev limit or bounce. When it get to 107, it'll rev limit or bounce and drop it back to 106. So you can actually save a little bit of fuel with the throttle lift and maximize that fourth gear velocity at 107 miles per hour. He's looking. Nah, he ain't gonna make that. Saving fuel, making his presence known. If you can't tell, I love watching the cockpits of the pros. Constantly seeing how to do stuff better and berating myself because I see shit that I just cannot do. Not possible. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Alright, let's give you all a break from my little moment there. Put this back over here onto, I'll put it on crashes and let it cycle through its own choice of what's leaders or most exciting. I believe it goes most exciting and then crashes and then leaders. If you select crashes, and if you select most exciting, then it'll go most exciting and then crashes and then leaders. And if you select leaders, then it'll just stay on the leaders. It won't come off of them for anything more exciting. I can't say it won't, but because it has from time to time, but primarily no. Ooh, Johnny Bell getting past. That's a lap down. Johnny Bell getting passed by Chapeau. Chapeau was a good front runner there for a while. He's still holding in P5. Looks like he's a stretch away there, about 12 seconds away from Mr. Marlin right now. Wow, 23 plus minutes left. And Johnny Bell takes the most exciting camera, as he is now the sandwich, the meat in the sandwich, as it were. Bless you, Mr. Soup. Between Mr. Bunting. Ooh, is that for battle? Bunting, Johnny Bell, and Bunting. No, yes. No, Bunting is one further lap down than Mr. Bell. So they are P14 and P15, but Bunting is an extra lap down at this point. But still, looking a little bit like good battle buddies, though. There's some camaraderie, respect going on there on the track there between Bunting and Bell, which that's awesome. Battle buddies is what it's about. Whether you're an alien, a pro, an avid, an amateur, a rookie, a beginner, having somebody that with a shared respect for each other and the service, and being able to having some accountability and standards out there, and actually being able to get up and actually race. Awesome. Glad to see that. Bristow's still holding that line on the inside, just like, when am I going to do it? Yeah, he's not going to get it done from that. Whoa. Whoa, Bristow fell asleep at the wheel. Oh, shit. Dude, 21 plus minutes left. Hang in there. I know it's like, what, 2 a.m. there at this point in the race for you. Oh, man, hang in there. Don't fall asleep while battling it for P1. Honestly, he's not really battling it, though. He's taking some extra air on the front end, that whole back stretch. Just holding it to the inside, waiting for the right time. Just tormenting Ronnie little by little with every moment. Just like, I'm here, I'm on your inside. I'm just waiting. Well, not your inside. What's that? I'm on the inside line behind you. Back here, I'm in your blind spot. That's it. I'm back here in your blind spot. Kevin and Tyler, position battle. P10, P11. Tyler up by less than half a second, which is the draft sweet spot here in the MX-5, 0.3 to 0.5 seconds. Heading down into the hairpin. Mr. Burns with the sky blue rims. Nice little attack through the revolver. Good to see people doing that. It's like y'all watch a couple of my little lap guides and corner helps. Because that's one of my biggest finds on this track is that attack on that revolver. Really, that's where I found my most time when I was struggling to find out where I could get it at. I had maximized that the last corner, as it is aptly called, and the corner whose name I can never remember, the most important corner of them all, the that carousel / uphill turn that opens up to the backstretch. And then I found a large amount of time with a strong attack through that revolver, and then really working the entry into the next corner that I can also never remember the name of. I think it's Spicer or Spitzer. That's just, I don't even know why I think that's the case. Somebody's going to the pits. Yeah, but maximizing that exit there on that, if it's Spicer or Spitzer, after the revolver. There's a lot of room you can take on lining up for your turn in, and then cut. That gives you a good cross of the apex, and then you can maximize that corner exit. And that is, I found my most time with a strong attack on the revolver, and then really getting outside in order to use as more room than I thought was ever possible going into that next turn in. Oh, Justin and Manraba, am I right? Yes, Justin Manraba, I believe that is battle for position, P12, battle for P12. And Chapo is gonna break them up quickly. Well, Chapo's not breaking them up. That's timing. And good, they're still, Manraba's still got that. He's got good draft on Chapo. That's good. Ooh. Chapo's got the lap up on these guys. Walters doesn't want to give it up, but he's not defending it. Oh, he does want to give it up. Okay. That's going to hurt you here. That really opens that door for Manraba. Oof. Alright, looked like Manraba rested off of that. He didn't attack that open door there that was left open. Nice respect shown there, so you guys can get back to the race. That's probably been going on longer than that's not gotten much credit for here. Because we're 90 minutes in. If you guys would be this close right now, that shit just doesn't happen on accident. Well, it can actually. Somebody could have had a spin that wasn't picked up. A little solo off track. Brought you two back together. Or a minor mistake. Good. Back marker battle. Way to go. Walters and Manraba. Good stuff, guys. Respect and battle. Love it. Back to the... Oh, that looked like Bristow was making a look there to the inside. Ronnie's got the apex, though. Unfortunate that it may have picked that camera, but that's going to change as it did there. Ooh, I think he might be looking now. Is he looking? He's looking. That looks more aggressive than his other looks down the inside. He might be making a move here. He is totally making the move. Kotz is happy to let him have it. Is that an over-under? Over-under? No, he's not taking the cutback. He's going to fall in line. That was that corner entry I was talking about. And there's the corner exit. Attack that revolver and maximize that corner entry room. There's lots of it out there. Ronnie's got his work cut out for him now. He's a man up. He's a man talented and up for the task. He's got his work cut out for him to hold on to Bristow. Bristow is so not easy to hold on to. Fast. Just the man sweats the talent. Tyler and Mr. Kevin, Statsmaster Volmar, been at it 90 minutes now. Well, not 90 minutes, 75 minutes now. Every time it skips to those guys, they are still in the battle zone. We're looking at Digby on the tail end of this. Mr. Bell in the center. Mr. Bunting down a lap. Do we have Digby? So we have 3 different laps here. No. Yes, we have. We do. We have three different laps in this little pack. Digby, our leader of the 3. Okay, Mr. Bunting is really going out of his way to get out of the way there. But good. He was able to get back into draft with Bell. So that it's been a number of laps, but these two, albeit Bell and Bunting, are a lap apart. They are enjoying some good camaraderie here, sharing the track together. While it looks like we got a little bit, I don't want to call it a battle because it's not, but they've been close for a lengthy number of laps, and that is really good experience. That goes a long way when you can start to build a relationship and trust amongst people, because next couple of races, Bunting's not going to be a lap down. He's going to be a lap. Well, he's going to be right on par with you. And with as courteous as I've seen Bunting being, I'm not anticipating him to be doing anything absurd or silly here in overtaking Bell, barring any mistakes or whatnot. But I'm really looking. I believe that's going quite well. Tyler and Kevin still duking it out. 13 plus minutes to go. Kevin is totally past the sweet spot. The draft sweet spot is done. Oh, he does make a look. Oh, thinks again. Too late. Too little, too late. Not gonna stick the nose in late. Oh, he does have a good inside line, though. I like that tight line hold coming out of there. It's such a... it can get you a better run through there, so I believe he lifted a little bit there to not pressure through the revolver. Or run down into Redmond? No! Not one he can affect, but one he can just, man, really making his presence known. That's good stuff, Mr. Burns, Mr. Velmer. We're back up to the leaders now. Bristow still holding P1. Kotz no farther behind than after Bristow got P1. He's still in the zone, making Bristow work for it. Because Bristow was looking that was more sketchy than we usually see Bristow. He worked his way through the entire pack without ever getting the tail out out to the side there, and so he's pushing it now to stay in front of Kotz. That's good to see. Looks like we've got two good solid battles going right now for P1, Kotz and Bristow, and then right here we're looking at Burns in front of Kevin for P10. Both of them taking that alien outside line there for a run down the stretch. Disappointed in myself that I'm like calling shit the wrong names. Down the stretch, it's got a name, damn it. Oh, back to the Bristow cockpit or roll bar cam. See, there's that alien working that outside line. Oh, I want to know how to do that. Well, I don't want to know how. I know how to do it. I just can't do it. Next year. My focus is on my consistency still at this point. I need to, it's one thing to maximize a corner and be like, hey, I found a second. It's another thing to be like, okay, after finding that second, I've been able to pick another 1/10 of a second off of my lap by finding a little bit here and a little bit there. And getting that, burning that whole full tank of fuel, and in a practice session and getting 0x. That is a goal. I haven't focused on it in this season at all, as we're here. This is only race 2. But here in our first season, that was my primary focus for all my practice sessions. I went into every one of them. I started them when there were 59 minutes on the server drop, and I would get in there and just. My goal was to not take a tow, not take a pit, and get the car around until I ran out of fuel, then take a pit, practice the pit on the crappy tires, throw a splash and go in it, and then go back out and finish my hour, and with a 0x. That was my goal. That was my goal every time. So I wasn't laying down the fastest laps. I did a lot of practicing inside and outside lines versus imaginary cars, and really making, much as we see Bunting going extra courteous, here he's being courteous. Bunting on the inside there, had to pause. I wasn't doing it to be courteous to people in the open practice sessions, but more to just stay away and clear. So it was a judgment call, trying to do that psychic reading on people. It'd be like, stay away, stay clear away, lift off completely, do not engage. I can get around this guy with a good move after watching for a couple of laps, and of that nature. Kotz is out. Kotz is in the grass. Oh, what happened there while I was rambling? That is Mr. Harris is on the inside, separating the leaders. Kotz is in the grass. I missed it. I totally missed it. I don't have cool replay functions, and I'm not about to start rewinding and looking here for a broadcast simulation. I'm gonna just make a little note here in my notebook about how, like, okay, stop trying to ramble and keep trying to pay attention to what's going on after 80 minutes. I don't know what I'm gonna have to. All right, we're gonna have to take a look at that one for the review, because that might have been sketchy. I don't know. Wow, that was definitely lap down on the inside, and Kotz was wow through the tech section. And Kotz was in the grass, almost scraping the wall. Oh, but there's still another. Well, these are now, I guess, more exciting. So that Kotz is now off. He might be out of the draft. Where am I? What am I looking at here? It's 37, 36. That is, he is almost 2 seconds. 1.9, 1.85, 1.9 seconds behind Bristow now. That is essentially out of the draft of Bristow. Ouch. That sucks. Ouch, that sucks. So close to the end after 90 minutes, too. Oof. Damn, what a letdown. Good fight still going. Kevin and Mr. Burns are still holding station. Nice defensive move. Not going to really break draft. I don't know if Tyler had a good run. Maybe Kevin might have come out a little slow there and thought he needed a defensive line. Just feeling out his car, making Burns think, getting in his head from the front of the fight. Last time we were really paying attention to these two, Burns was in front, so I missed the overtake. Lots of nice gap there Kevin's got now. Kevin is putting a nice gap. Still, draft still heavy there, but that is a pretty good looking gap. Over just that little short section. One that is going to close up through here for sure. One of the troubles with the MX-5 if you try to break draft, more often than not, you actually hurt your own momentum enough that you actually will help them close in the gap. But that looked like a super defensive line he was onto, and he was able to hold on to it because he survived it through the hairpin. So defensive line down the entire back straight, success. Thank you to iRacing for jumping off of it there on me there that moment. As we did miss the hairpin. Call that wide, but that's also going to be a nice defensive line there through that one. That looks like a cutback. Is it a cutback? Cutback in spirit, but not affected. 5 minutes. 5+ minutes. We're 5+ minutes. We're 85 minutes down. This is, I don't want to call it go time because it's not quite go time yet, but it's kind of go time. If you're feeling it, if the opportunity is there, the justifiable risk variable of what lap are you on just got a whole lot more important in that equation. That is totally carrying a lot more weight now when it comes down to when is it, how justifiable is this risk? Time's running out. The risk is much more justifiable. We got Lovell there on the outside of Harris. Okay, getting it done. Getting that lap down on Harris done. Miranda with Bolden behind. I didn't catch it here on this, but I did hear that Bolden had some front end damage. So he's got some aero damage. He's going to be doing everything he can to hold on to Miranda. Because he's still, he needs that draft in order to stay with him, as I understand. He does have some damage that we didn't see. That's not him. That's, is that me? That's me passing Bunting. And putting, so it's a me sandwich between two lap down cars of Bell and Bunting. Oh, I got in the back marker battle that are not really a battle because they're a lap apart, but they've been enjoying themselves. They've been together now for pretty much this whole second half of the race, albeit a lap apart. They've been sharing the track, so that is some worthy experience that I just stuck my nose in between. Well, I didn't stick my nose in between. Bunting gave it to me by getting way off the racing line down that front straight, so I can't berate myself for that. Nothing I could do there if you're gonna give it away like that. Which I will say, I really think you should stop doing. Everybody, we should hold on to that line. I'm got nobody to a tenth of a second, 3/10 of a second. It's not going to affect my race at that point. You would have been much more apt to stay on the racing line and get me gift. If any, think of it this way: be courteous and gift me the experience of passing a lap down car who is racing and not giving it away. They're holding onto the line. I can then, as I'm faster than them, make a move coming out of the corner exit because I have a better run. I can time my run by braking early going into the turn. I can time it, come out, use a little bit of the draft, and then make the move when it's appropriate and racy. And then you can take a little bit off of the throttle, or if I'm a little not good coming out of the corner, you might tap the brake just a tad right there on the racing line. Different ways to actually better be courteous in a but still have a racing spirit. And then that would allow me to jump around you proper, gaining me an experience that I don't get much of, which I need a lot more of. Oh, wow. 1+ minutes. Oh, and I've got it on. We're let me put it. Do I want to put it on? If I put it on leader, do I want to put it on leader? I'm going to leave it on most. No, I'm going to do it. It's been on. We've done the whole thing on crashes. I'll leave, other than my little forays into the cockpit. So I'll leave it. I'll leave it on crashes and see where this is going to go. I don't have formal control over what it selects, and it just becomes, it's so hard to jump around. And it would just bug people out if I'm just scrolling through all the cameras with the buttons. Burns is still hot on the tail of Kevin there. Ooh, Manraba is way wide. That is Bolden going inside of Manraba with 26 seconds on the clock. They're on lap 49. I do know we have one more lap in the tank. We have one more lap coming. They got another lap of battle on them. That is Walters in front. It's white wheels. That is me. That is me passing lap down car of Walters. Walters starts to move defensive on me, but I was able. He backed out of it once he realized I was going around him. With that, I wasn't able to get a really good effective run with the move to the defense while I was going around. And maybe because I'm just not that good, but hopefully that wasn't me that pushed him out into the kitty litter there. Oh! Yellow wheels! That's Harris! Who's here? Harris is just... Ooh, that's Marlin trying to get around Harris. Marlin has Chapeau behind him. Chapeau, that is a race for position. Chapeau directly behind Harris. That's Harris again impeding through the same section where Kotz was out of bounds. Yeah, just battling with the leaders hard through Redmond and Hobbs and through the Revolver and Spitzer and Redmond and Hobbs on the final turns. Oh, and Chapeau benefits from it and gets the pass. He closed like 2 seconds there on Marlin through that and was able to get... Oh, Marlin's out of... Oh, his connection is out. Oh, alright. Well, my instincts are just really pissed right now because that looked like Harris fucked that all to hell. We shall have to wait and see. I just don't know. That all kinds of sketchy there. Battling with a... Oh, I don't know. Don't want to battle with him. But man, he put himself right in the middle of made himself the sandwich for 4 turns. 1 turn okay if opportunity just does it. We've got Miranda is wide. No, I'm sorry. Yes, Miranda. Miranda is wide and in the grass. Bolden. Was this P10? P8. P8. Battle for P8. Shit. Bolden takes it. Bolden takes it. 0.4, 0.3, 0.4 seconds. No, I'm looking at the right. It moved on me. That's the wrong one now. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where are you? Oh, it just keeps bouncing everywhere. Bolden, Miranda. Oh no, that's just the last lap time, so it doesn't even show me. Because they're not there anymore, because it's up to date by the second. So I missed it. That shit was close. Okay, that shit was close. But it does say that Bolden did get P8 in front of Miranda by something really a nose, a paint job, a bumper, really fucking close. Really, really, really close. There it is. That is official. It is officially done. Let me go to just the standard little iRacing results page here. And let me do this. Let me pull this into view, and we will run through. What's just happened here? Let me get that. It's not quite to get up over drivers. That gets them all in there, because I don't have a scroll kind of option on there. All right, that's all. That's got all of them in there. And turn off that move. Alt K. We have the winner. We have Bristow. Bristow takes the lead, 4.6 seconds behind. Kotz was not able to hold on. It looks like after losing the draft with Bristow, with that trouble through the revolver, through the infield section, the revolver and Hobbs and Redmond. With Harris, that got him out of the draft, and he lost another 2.5 seconds over those last 5 laps off of Bristow after that draft was gone. After holding on for like, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 laps, holding on with Bristow in front of him for most of it, and then another 8 or so at the end there. So once that draft was gone with that trouble with Harris, getting him off track, that ended it there for the fight for P1. But a solid P2 there. Lovell, our pole sitter, started the race in 1, able to hold on to P3, just 15 seconds behind our Season 2 champion, Mr. Bristow. Chapeau, another strong runner, always in the top. Really showing the management of the aggression. Is at 29 seconds behind our leader. I love that we have a lot on the lead lap. I know we had a couple. We had those two accidents with Kellyman and Athen, showing it a 22 and 46 laps down. Kellyman, I know he had to retire from across the pond. He didn't have the energy to hang. He called it a night. But let's move back up here to P6. Marlin held on to P6. Really, so that was. I'm not sure if he lost his connection or ran out of fuel there, but he was in front of Chapeau with a good 2-second lead before, again, the same as Kotz, running into trouble through Revolver. I call it Spicer, the corner's name I keep screwing up, with Harris in that same section. And then Chapeau was able to close up and make the pass in the last corner and on the straight. Digby, I was with him for a while. I did lose contact with him after Bunting. Bunting got loose in the first left-hander, whose turn, I have no idea what it's called. The most recognizable turn here, in my opinion, with that lilting left-hander in turn 2 where the camber drops off, and you can take it in high RPM third or low RPM in fourth, what you need to do to maintain your rear end, because the car can get really sloppy through there. And well, I can speculate, after he was very courteous to Digby at the front of my little train of cars, and then I think he may have overstressed himself going into turn 2, trying to figure out what would be the best maneuver to help the rest of the pack hold on to Digby there, so he got a little loose. And so then that put Digby at still holding on, only 46 seconds behind our Bristow leader. Bolden, we had a whole first stint. We were together. Post pit, we lost each other. But there's you and me holding on to P8 and P9 with a minute, a minute and 17 behind. Bolden took the pass on Miranda in the last corner as Miranda used all of the exit and put all 4 tires into the kitty litter, and they are, oh my lord. I couldn't read it at the time because all the numbers and the stuff was bouncing all over the place on me. But that is point, oh shit, math, don't fail me now. Is that 0.8? 0.9, 0.09, 0.09, 9 hundredths of a second between Bolden and Miranda. Fucking A, guys. Wow, after 90 minutes. That's hardcore. Love it. Love it. Oh, Kevin, Mr. Statsmaster, 136 behind with the fight with Burns. I know Kevin got the pass. I didn't get the. I missed the pass. I didn't see it, but the pass took place in those last few laps, and it looks like he was able to hold on to it. Burns was still holding on to the draft, keeping in the draft range, and making it a fight there to the final end with 136.7 and 137.0 behind. Then our collection of one lap down, Monraba, Walters, and Bell, all at just 1 lap down. And Bunting, our only one with 2 laps down. Harris, 8 laps down. Oh wow, both of those troubles, and you were 8 laps down. All right, we're gonna have to have a talk, Harris. Well, of course, I need to take a close look at it and find out. Don't really know, but there's also been a history of you having trouble with the relative screen in previous races in season 1 or 2. So we will. I will take a close look at those situations because I don't see these going through the review. I don't see a lot of this stuff because it's not actually incidents. It's just shit that happens, and nobody posts. We have the courteous factor and the respect factor carries on. We don't have a lot of people. Well, it's mostly me using the request for review sheet to track a written supply of the decisions on the actual incidents where we assign penalties for punts and washouts and spins and erroneous factors. So things of this nature don't get reported, and to make it clear for everybody. It's a learning opportunity for everybody because it's important for me to review stuff like that so that we can bring it to attention. So because people need to, not everybody knows how to handle a situation like that, and I don't know how to teach somebody how to handle a situation like that. So I've got to get better. The more of these things we can look through. Then Athlon had a little noser with a dropped tire out of the revolver, and I know he was in for repairs and driving without a hood for a while and then in for repairs. So it looks like he did, I think he did manage to finish the race, but is 22 laps down. And Kellyman is 46 laps down, which I believe, per notes in the Discord, I believe he cut out early on us in order to get some sleep. He was undone with the late night hours from across the pond. All right, well let me do. I don't have any really scheduled closing statements to bring, and I have talked myself silly for the last hour and a half plus because I even covered the qualifying session. So let me go ahead and move this. Did I get this screen to work? Hit that little button right there. Little thing I got up as of prior to this race. Nope, scratch that, because I did go through and run the numbers. We just haven't done the penalties yet, but I did go through and run the numbers. They are up on the website. We have Johnny Bell, our back marker here, finished one lap down, but the cleanest, on the algorithm, he's our cleanest driver of the race with only 1 X and only 1 lap down. And that is enough to garner him 36 points on the clean rank ladder, and put him as the the current cleaner. He is the cleaner. He is holding the cleanest rank for races 1 and 2. I held it last week with the 0x, but wow, did I just I fucked it all up on Okayama. I was fighting with Bolden for a while and Digby, and really, well, not fighting, but I was battling and pushing myself harder than normal in order to maximize, to hold on and stay with Digby, and then also to stay in front of my buddy Bolden. So I got a lot of extra X's. It was like 12 or 14, 15, 16. I don't know. It was big. So I am no longer Mr. Current Cleaner, and we will pass that hat to Mr. Johnny Bell. Congratulations on that one. And of course, I just love the MX-5. So the MX-5 is there, and the Mazda symbol, and then that's if this is showing properly. That's we got our little ASRC logo, and this is what I use for my forum signatures. Form signature, because it kind of encapsulates the goals, the kind of the format, the structure, what we're doing here with the league, and well, what can I say? I really do enjoy me some Archer. I really do. So on that note, let's go ahead and end the broadcast of Season 3, Race 2, Trishan Sim Race Campus at Okayama Full. Practice smart, stay up.